Today we are making two versions of a lovely gin-based cocktail called the Joy Division. The Joy Division is a modern cocktail created in 2008 by Phil Ward, so very young in cocktail age. Unlike many drinks that have Martini in their name but have nothing to do with the classic Martini template, this one is a true variation on the classic Martini template. So you need a pretty basic selection of ingredients to make this one. First of all, gin. When I discover a new cocktail, I like to use a pretty standard juniper forward gin. The original recipe calls for beefeater, so that's what we're going to use today. Next, you need dry vermouth. The recipe calls for Dolin dry, so we're gonna use that today, but it's always good to experiment with other types of vermouth and fortified wines. Next, we need orange liqueur. The recipe calls for Cointreau, so that's what I'm going to use today, but you could do this drink with any orange liqueur you have. Finally, the drink calls for 3 dashes of absinthe, so I'm going to use a little spray bottle. We're serving this one up in a coupe, so don't forget to chill your glassware. The recipe is very easy to remember, just divide by 2 every time you switch ingredient. We start with 2 ounces of gin in a mixing glass. Next, half of that is 1 ounce of dry vermouth. Then half of that is half an ounce of orange liqueur, Cointreau. And finally, I do 3 sprays of absinthe in the mixing glass. So add your ice and give it a good stir. Serve in your glass of choice. Like I would for a classic martini, I'm going to express the oils of a lemon zest on top of the drink and use it for garnish. So basically, yes, this is a 2-to-1 martini with a splash of orange liqueur and a touch of anise, but for me, this drink is much more than the sum of its parts, if you see what I mean, and that's always a good sign when tasting a new cocktail. You get that first initial martini-esque oomph, but it doesn't stop there, and it has a longer finish with those orange and anise notes, so for me, this is a very interesting drink. One thing I noticed the last time I had this drink, because I've had it before, is that it has a nice evolution as the temperature rises, revealing more and more the different layers of flavor and the complexity of the drink. So you get the best of both worlds. It's very nice from the first sip until the last one. So if you are a martini lover, this drink is definitely for you. If you are not a martini lover, I believe this drink is also for you because it's a very good introduction to the martini-esque template, where a base spirit is modified by a fortified wine. This one is a little bit sugar-coated because there is the addition of orange liqueur and the touch of anise from the absinthe, so it makes it a bit more complex. I'm not saying better because both are very interesting in my opinion, but it's something different, maybe a bit more accessible. Now, if you are not a gin lover, I believe this could also be an interesting drink for you. You know how we often talk about taking a solid base template and swapping ingredient to try and make something different? I want to put that to the test now by making a tequila version using a slightly different build, using the Joy Division as our inspiration. So I don't have a name for this one yet, so if you have a great idea, please put it down in a comment. In our mixing glass, we start with 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of dry vermouth, half an ounce of orange liqueur. I'm still gonna use Cointreau, and instead of the absinthe, I'm gonna use a bar spoon of mezcal. Add your ice and give it a good stir. And serve it in your glass of choice. Same here, I'm going to express the oils from a lemon zest and use it as garnish. So we've got a winner. This one for me is at least as interesting as the classic Joy Division. Totally different, but so well balanced. Of course, it's very different. No more juniper flavors here. It screams agave, but in a very subtle way. I don't believe I've had a sort of tequila martini before like that, but tequila and vermouth, working very well together. The touch of orange liqueur, like in the Joy Division, adding a nice sweetness and complexity, and I think mezcal instead of absinthe was a very good choice because tequila and mezcal, match made in heaven, of course. As usual, the idea that a classic template like the Martini gave birth to the Joy Division, and that from the Joy Division we could make a totally different drink just by swapping 2 ingredients is absolutely fascinating to me. And it shows the strength of a good classic base template. I will try this tequila version with absinthe too because I'm very curious, but you can make this recipe with your eyes closed. It is delicious. As usual, all the recipes are detailed in the description under the video. On your way down, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button if you haven't already so we can see each other again, make more drinks. Please leave us in the comments your favorite Martini variation and let me know if you try this one or a variation of this one. I'm always curious and happy to read you. I'll see you next week for more cocktail adventures. Thank you for watching today. Cheers.